Okay, this video we are going to examine college admissions essays. Kind of going to go into the importance of them, what colleges are looking for, as well as some brainstorming techniques that can help you with your essays. So factors in college admissions, the hard factors are the things like grades and GPA, so things that can be easily measured. And grades are definitely higher up than test scores, and also the rigor of coursework. Are you challenging yourself? Um, and then ACT and SAT scores. So the reason why grades and rigor of coursework are more important to colleges is because it shows, your work ethic. Also shows you challenge yourself. SAT and ACT scores oftentimes just tell them that you're a good test taker, or it's 1 point in your life. It's not measuring your overall um, abilities. Soft factors, these are things that are more subjective. So the number one soft factor in consideration when it comes to admissions is your essay or your personal statement. Some schools just do short answer questions. So anything that's like about you writing about yourself, that's the number one soft factor. They look at extracurricular activities. You can talk about jobs, clubs you're involved in, that sort of thing, sports, community service. Demonstrated interest. This is showing the school that you're interested in them. So one way you show it's early action or decision. Early action, you can apply to one school early, and if you get in, you are not you don't have to go there once you get in, but it puts you in a smaller applicant pool. Early decision, if you sign the paper saying, I want to do early decision, that means if you get into that school, you have to go there. So if you're worried about financial aid or you're not really sure where you want to go, early decision is not for you, but early action is not binding. So it shows the school that you're really interested in going there by applying early. It also can help to apply to the school portal rather than the Common App. I know for Texas Christian and for SMU, and then there's other, and also as Baylor, they would rather have you go through their portal rather than the Common App because they know how easy it is to just add schools to the Common Application. Oftentimes, their questions, I know for sure, TCU, their questions are more personal to the school if you do it through a portal. And again, that shows you that you're spending the extra time to go through what they've set up rather than just add a bunch of schools to the Common App. Letters of recommendation, so from teachers or for your counselor. So secondary school report and counselor letter. Counselor letters are becoming more and more important. They want to see, they get a letter from someone who's known a child for a while, can see their growth, knows what they contribute to the school. Secondary school report's great in that it gives context to your transcript. They can see, okay, what is the average GPA, how many AP courses your school offers, just so they can see your school in context. So for us, it's great to have the secondary school report because we're a very small school. And so it's really helpful for them to see like, oh, we only offer this amount of AP classes because we are such a small school. So yeah, those are the most important soft factors. So look at factors in college admissions. So again, top three factors are your grades and college prep courses, and as well as your test scores, also strength of curriculum, and then you see essay and writing sample as the very first soft factor. They say about 37% of colleges say it's moderately important. 17% say it's considerably important. It's more and more important with smaller schools and more competitive schools. Like Texas State doesn't always require an essay. Sometimes you need it for scholarships, but more selective schools like UT, like Rice, do require an essay or a writing sample of some sort. So college admissions trends. Applications are up, admissions down. Obviously, if you have more and more applicants, um, you can't accept everybody. So yes, your admissions rate goes down, but that's why it's easier to apply to several schools. You can go on the Common App and just check boxes for several schools. You can go on Apply Texas and check several boxes. So the actual application or the actual acceptance rate at schools has actually gone up for most schools, but it looks like it has gone down because more and more people are applying who are not qualified. So if you actually looked at the acceptance rate for qualified applicants, then you would see that actually admissions rates have gone up. But just overall looks bad because looks like it's going down because it's so easy to apply to so many different schools. Definitely increase in early admissions rate because again, that shows the school that you really want to go there. Increase in applicants waitlisted. Oftentimes, if you're on the wait list, your essay can be a great thing to kind of get you off there and get you accepted. More schools are going test optional again because they know that ACT and SAT scores aren't always a reflection of how smart you are or how hard of a worker you are. Holistic admissions, which means they strongly consider all factors. Most schools will have like a scoring system. You get X amount of points for a certain GPA test scores, and then they go through and read your essays. A lot of schools, you might pass through 3 or 4 different readers who all score it. So they all do look at your extracurriculars. They consider your essay. That's a good thing if you're not necessarily just best test taker and top of your class. It's great to have more chances to show what kind of person you are and show that you would be an asset to their school. The importance of essays, it shows things that admissions officers cannot know just from looking at test scores and grades. It gives personality, shows your interest. You can talk about your goals. Definitely struggles or challenges. Even there are even some questions that ask, what is a challenge that you've overcome and what did you learn from it? So there's some people ask like, oh, I'm too afraid. So is it okay to talk about a personal challenge? Absolutely, because it shows that you're able to handle setbacks and you know how to overcome things. Your interest in opportunities. They want to see, what you're going to bring to the school, what interests you. If you're interested in something specific and their school doesn't have it, they're gonna be like, well, why are you applying to us? So it kind of shows like, hey, these are my interests and I have to go to your school because of X, Y, and Z. I say a good essay can heal the sick, but it can't raise the dead. So if you're kind of on that bubble between waitlist and admit, or admit and reject, definitely a good essay could put you ahead of somebody else in the same position. But if you're completely out of the GPA or test range, like not even on the map, it really can't raise the dead. Or, it can, so if you have great grades in one semester, you had your grades went down because, say, a parent was sick in the hospital. Your essay explaining that can definitely heal that part of your application. But if you're consistently like a low C student, that's not going to, no matter how good of an essay you write, it's not going to help you get admitted. Okay, so what colleges want to see? Leadership is a big one. So it doesn't always have to be through your school. If you have a job and you end up getting promoted to a leadership position, that's great, or in a community service group. They want to know what you will contribute to the campus. Like, why do you want to go there and what can they get from you? They want to accept people who can make a difference on their campus and make their campus better. Definitely specific reasons why you want to attend their school. And you also want to include bits of information about the school to show you've done your research. At my high school internship, I had a student who wanted to go to Vanderbilt. And the program she wanted was human and organizational development, which was kind of like a business-based major. They didn't have business, so it was kind of their version of business. And she actually went to a lecture that I was a TA for, and she was actually see the professor. And in her essay, she was able to say, like, when I saw Dr. Blah, 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 like, this is, what I learned. She ended up going to Vanderbilt for that precise major. So you kind of want to show that you've done your research, you visited if you have, and show that you're really interested in their school. So common college essays do's and don'ts. Answer the question uniquely. Make it about yourself. Definitely get it looked over by at least one other person before submitting. I have looked at several essays of kids this year, and I catch spelling errors, grammar errors. I can tell them if it doesn't flow, so it's great to have that input. Yeah, use a format other than the traditional 5-paragraph essay. You will see that the essays that have been linked on the essay webpage, that kids took a very different approach. Some people did a recipe, some people have done, I even had kids do like a sample like text conversation. So you don't have to use a traditional 5 paragraph essay. Definitely don't be afraid to express your opinion or discuss your challenges. When admissions officers are reading your essay, they want to see a good writer and get to know you personally. They're not really looking for like, oh, do I agree with you or not? It's just how you express yourself. And don't write about cliche topics. Sports is a metaphor for life because the purpose of the essay is to stand out, and so many people do that. Definitely don't go over the page or word limit. Most things on the computer applications you cannot, but I have had some people be like, "Oh, since it won't fit on the website, should I just print it off and mail it to them?" No, please do not do that. If it's 500 words, that's what you need to do. You need more concise if that's the case. Definitely proofread for grammar and spelling. Even though you have spell checks, sometimes it doesn't always catch it. Focus on the positive, even talking about a struggle or a challenge. And there's even specific questions that say, name a challenge that you've overcome. It's good to give some sort of background, but you really want to focus more on the positive nature of it. Approach the essay is kind of why we are perfect for each other. It's kind of a matchmaking thing. Like, here's what you offer, and this is what I have. I think would be a great match because they really want to see, like, will you fit into our student body? And don't be afraid to write about something that's not serious. I think for a lot of my college essays, I wrote about babysitting. And I know for grad school, I wrote about coaching soccer. So it does not have to be something that's serious. And you'll see one of the examples they give is a student did a recipe for empanadas. Not serious at all, but it had a really good effect. Obviously, don't be offensive or use offensive language. Don't just write about the school's reputation, location, or mascot. Those are things that anyone can pick up, do a little more, like a deeper research, and see what things actually make the school unique. So yeah, research and discuss how you will contribute to the school and community. Mention the clubs that you want to be part of, or classes, or professors, or activities you're excited about, something you want to change on campus, something the campus offers you that you can't get anywhere else. Definitely include an essay with your application when it's optional. It always gives you that extra edge over other applicants. You are going to be most people use their college essay for multiple schools, and that's perfectly acceptable. Just make sure that if you have included the school name and other details, that you definitely change it when you use it for a different school. Don't use over emotional language. Some people think that they can play to someone's emotions and they're being more likely to be accepted, but a lot of it just comes off as really ingenuine. And so it's better to use simple language than say something like, I'd be the happiest person in the world if I could attend this school. So brainstorming strategies, biggest ones, a bubble map, free write, looping, or a flow map. Bubble maps are really good for questions that are pretty open-ended. One talking about, okay, there was a apply Texas application question about, we're influenced by the environment around us. Talk about your family, school, neighborhood, town, or community and how it affected you. So with the bubble map, it's great to kind of put, family in one bubble, community in another, kind of list some things that affected you, and then go from there and figure out which topic is the strongest or the most interesting. Free writes are really good when you have no idea what you're going to even write about. There's a question on the Apply Texas, like you have a ticket in your hand, you can go anywhere. Where would you go and why? It's pretty open-ended, so sometimes it's nice. It will just free write. And then for looping, after your free write, you circle the main ideas and then pick one of those ideas and then write another 5 minutes. It just kind of helps narrow down the topics. The last one, the flow map or sequencing, is really good for the essays that talk about an event or challenge that changed you, or like a situation that challenged your belief, because you can kind of figure out, okay, here's a situation, how was I before, how was I afterwards, and you can kind of go from there.